Hello, welcome to another vegan Mundi cooking class. My name is Felipe and in this video you will learn how to make seitan from scratch. Seitan is an ingredient used by vegan people to replace chicken and beef. It's very nutritious, almost 80% of it is protein, but it contains gluten, so if you're gluten intolerant, this is not for you. It is made out of vital wheat gluten. The process of making vital wheat gluten consists of making a flour out of wheat. This flour is then hydrated and then the gluten is extracted out of it. And the final product is a powder that you will use as a base for this recipe. So let's get our hands dirty and make our seitan from scratch. We'll make a dough with all the ingredients. We will start by whisking first just the dry ingredients. The nutritional yeast, garlic powder, turmeric, tahini. The tahini will add some fatty flavor to it, a good fat flavor, because tahini is a paste made out of sesame, which has good fat. And after you combine the ingredients, you will pour the wet ingredients. The soy sauce to make it savory, and vegetable broth. You will whisk again until it gets more homogeneous. And then when it's really homogeneous, or at least kind of looking like dough, then you have to knead it with your own hands. This is good enough. Now it's time to use your hands. Don't be shy. You don't need to knead it for too long. 30 seconds is more than enough. And that's the consistency that you want to achieve for your dough. After this, you let it rest for 30 minutes and then we'll cook it. I'll show you two different ways of cooking your seitan. The first one is steaming it and the second one is cooking it in a broth. Each of the approaches will achieve a different final product. The end result will be different. The consistency of your seitan will be different if you steam it or if you cook it in a broth. If you steam it, it will be harder, denser, meatier. This is the consistency of the products that you buy in a store. If you cook it in a broth, it will be softer, spongier, moister. It will be more flavorful than the steamed one. So the trade-off here is the consistency and the flavor. If you steam it, it will be closer to the meat consistency. It won't be that flavorful, but of course, when it's time for you to prepare your recipe based on a seitan, you will season it. So in the end, it will be flavorful. And if you have something like a stew, for example, that you can have your beef or chicken spongier, then you can cook it in a broth because it will be more flavorful because your broth will have seasonings. So let me first talk about how you make it in a broth. I won't show it here in the video. I'll explain to you and it'll be enough for you to try by yourself if you want. And then I will show you how to steam it. You get the dough that we prepared after 30 minutes that it rested. You put it in a broth and your broth can be water with soy sauce. You can add carrots, you can add celery, you can add spices if you want, onion powder, garlic powder. You can cook it in a vegetable broth if you want to cheat it a little bit. There are some vegan chicken broths that you can buy. You can cook it in there. And then you can cook it like for maybe 40 minutes, maybe 50 minutes. And then you will have it ready. But what we are doing in this video is steaming it. So let's do it. Now that your dough rested, it's time for us to wrap it in aluminum foil and then steam it. So the aluminum foil has two sides. One is shinier than the other. You want the shiny side inside. Because if you put it outside, you wrap it here, right? The shiny side will reflect the heat. That's not what you want. You want it inside, so it will keep the heat inside. You get your dough, shape it like almost like a ham, wrap it. That's enough. I don't need this part here. Just one layer of aluminum foil, and then shape it a little bit in the shape that you want, and then we are ready to steam it. You put water in your steamer, turn your stove on, the water will start evaporating, creating the steam. You put your seitan in there, you cover it with the wrong lid because I broke the other lid, and then you just steam it. We are done steaming our seitan. This is the consistency that we are looking for. I will cut it and then you will see how it looks like inside. And of course, you're not eating it like this. What you learned was how to make the base ingredient so you can make your recipes that are based on seitan. So you don't need to buy the seitan. Okay? If you want to learn some recipes that use seitan, you can search for it in Vegan Mundi's website. Just search for seitan and you will see different recipes there. Enjoy it.